All right. This is the Purple Huddle halftime reactions to the Chicago Bears and Minnesota Vikings. Pretty ugly football so far. As usual, I'm your host, Josh Fry, the managing editor over at purpleptsd.com. Be sure to go check out that website for all sorts of post game reactions tonight, tomorrow morning, then throughout the week. And then as we head into the bye week, we'll find something to talk about too. But yeah, head over to purpleptsd.com after the game for all the post game stuff. But for now, man, we've got an ugly football game on our hands, folks. On the bright side, I mean, that might have been one of the fastest first halves of Monday Night Football that I've ever seen. So we didn't have to sit through it for too long. But holy cow, the Vikings offense is just a mess right now. This team just cannot find a way to move the ball. They finally got some positive things going thanks to that big catch by Brandon Powell at the end of the first half. Colleen says, yes, it's ugly. It's very ugly. It is one of the ugliest games that I've seen the Vikings put together this year. And that's saying something because they've had a few ugly games so far this season on the offensive side. Luckily, though, this Vikings team is playing the Chicago Bears, and they're just not that good. And they've managed to string some drives together thanks to some screen passes by Justin Fields. Honestly, though, it's really comes down to this Vikings defense being able to figure out that screen game and being able to block and being able to get get past some of those blockers because the Bears are just eating up yardage right now with those screen plays and those short passes from Justin Fields. Cole Kmet had a few of those catches at the beginning of the game, and they've gotten DJ Moore involved as well. Uh, Kenneth, I'm with you, my man. This is one hell of a game that we're sitting through right now. Colleen says we need prayers. We need prayers. Yes, the Vikings gods, please give us some points in the second half. Luckily, it's a 3-3 game going into the half. So as ugly as it has been, there's still a way for this Vikings team to win this game and ride in their bye week on a high note. And honestly, they really need to do that because they have a huge opportunity in front of them with what happened earlier this weekend with the Lions falling on Thanksgiving to the Green Bay Packers. I never thought I'd be rooting for a Packers win, but here we are. The Packers really helped the Vikings out in a big way on Thanksgiving, and now the Vikings need to come through tonight. And then the Seattle Seahawks, they also lost on Thanksgiving to the 49ers, and they just don't look very good right now. Vikings with a win, they jump into that number 6 seed in the NFC, and they just keep moving up the standings. But for now, we really need to get this offense going. Josh Dobbs had a couple really bad interceptions in that first half. I mean, the second interception isn't on him. That's more on Jordan Addison. I know Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were talking about how he threw the ball too hard, but I mean, it's an NFL wide receiver. He's a first-round pick for a reason. He's made those catches all season long. He needs to come down with that ball. And honestly, this game probably looks a lot different if he had hauled in that 50-yarder on the very first play of the game. I love that aggressiveness from Kevin O'Connell coming out of the gate strong and just letting his quarterback fire the ball downfield, showing some trust in his arm. We haven't seen Dobbs do a ton of that so far with the Vikings. And I mean, there might be a reason for that, considering his first interception was on another one of those throws, trying to layer the ball in between two Bears defenders, and he just gets picked off. I think that was Jalen Johnson, was it not? I believe it was. But yeah, just some really ugly football right now for the Vikings offense. Can't string drives together. The defense, they're holding up about as well as they can right now, given some of the situations that they've been in. But still, I think this defense could be playing a little bit better as well. Just getting off the field, especially on that first drive where they give up that, what was it, 3rd and 27, and it ultimately was a 4th and 10 conversion by the Bears. That's just the drive. I know it didn't result in any points, but still, that's an opportunity for the Vikings to get off the field and potentially give themselves a short field going the other way. So just a few things here and there that they just need to fix going into halftime. And yeah, I'd go to bed, but not sure I could sleep, wondering if they might turn it around. Mary, I'm with you. I'll be riding this one out as no matter how ugly it could throughout the night. I'll be riding this one out with you. So cheers to you. But yeah, just some things to work out. This team, it really, if I'm being completely honest, it looks like a team that's very ready for their bye week. They're just playing some sloppy football right now. The defense is holding up in some of these situations, and given the fact that they've been on the field 15 minutes of this first, more than that, honestly, it's been almost 20 minutes. Yeah, the Bears are winning this time of possession battle by almost 10 minutes, 30 minutes into the game, and that was a big reason why they were able to hang in in the last game. They won the possession battle by almost 11 minutes in that one, and they're on pace to do even more damage in that area during this one. And it's a Bears defense that has been a little bit slept on over the past few weeks. They've definitely started turning things around, and we've seen it. Gervon Dexter making some plays. He had a penalty for roughing the passer, but he's making an impact on the defensive line. Jaquan Brisker at the safety spot. Jalen Johnson being one of the best young cornerbacks in the entire league. This is not the Bears defense of a few years ago where they're just going to lay over and let you throw the ball on them and go for 400, 500 yards in a game. This defense is improving and improving very quickly, and that's why they've been able to stay competitive in some of these games in recent weeks. And yeah, it's just something that the Vikings are going to have to overcome tonight if they're going to find a way to win this game. And it's an important one. It's an important one. Like I said, they need to come away with this one to move up in the NFC. I really think that they're going to. They have the opening kickoff at the start of the second half, and if they make some of these adjustments and they just don't make these silly mistakes, we've harped on them all season about these silly mistakes, and they just keep doing it. But I mean, if they can cut out those 2 turnovers by Josh Dobbs, I think this is a very different looking game. But yeah, just change some things up. Defense playing well, hopefully continues into the second half. The fact that the Bears only had 3 points in that first half is a miracle. They are keeping the Vikings in this as much as they possibly can with all of those penalties. I think they had 6 for over 70 yards in that first half, which is that's a lot. That's a lot. And the Vikings should have a lot more than 3 points themselves, considering that's the situation that they've been put in by the Bears. But yeah, just make some of these improvements. Hopefully come out, start strong in the second half. They're showing signs of life down the stretch of that second quarter. And maybe they're finally figuring some of these things out with the Bears defense. So hopefully they continue to do that. Luckily, we didn't see a Greg Joseph miss at the end of the first half. I thought that kick was going a little bit to the right at first, scared me a little bit, but it got through the uprights, and we have a tie game. It's a brand new game going into the second half. They just need to fix some of these things, and hopefully they do just that. Again, I am Josh Fry, managing editor over at purpleptsd.com with the Purple Huddle halftime recap. Looks like the second half is going to be getting started here in just a few minutes. So I think I'm going to leave it there unless you guys have any other comments, questions. Hope you guys had a very thankful Thanksgiving weekend with lots of family, friends, and food in your lives. And yeah, I'm going to turn it over there. And hopefully we have a Vikings offense that picks things up in the second half and comes away with a W and heads into the bye week on a high note. I'll sign off there. See you over on Purple PTSD for all the post-game reactions.